Hello there, welcome to Being Beta. Before I launch in, I'd like to wish you all a very happy new year. I hope your 2021 has got off to a great start, but now we'll get cracking with a bit of work. So today's video, I'm going to be looking at putting in a curtain pole just along here. We've got some draft excluder around the door, but it's an old door. We haven't got the money just yet to replace it. So we're going to put a curtain across as well, just to help with the draft and help keep the warmth in the hallway itself. So tools and equipment you're going to need. You're going to need a saw. You can use a screwdriver, but it is a bit easier to use a hand drill to drill the screws or wall plugs into the wall. Screwdriver itself, tape measure, pencil and a step, and then out of shot I've got a long spirit level, which can be really handy. If you don't have a long spirit level, you can use a shorter spirit level on a longer piece of wood. The curtain pole itself, this is from Dunelm here in the UK. The fixing kit, we've got some wall plugs with the relevant screws. These pieces are going to go onto the wall, and then these are going to screw on, and this is what the pole is going to rest on itself. And then you've got pilot hole drilled already, and you can put this small screw in, and then that will screw into the curtain pole to stop it sliding around. And then these are like the end caps for the pole itself. Now we're going to be going straight into the studs. We know where the studs are on this particular wall because we've had some woodwork done and then plasterboarded and plastered. So we won't be using the wall plugs themselves, which is designed for masonry. So I can get rid of those and I'll show you the next stage in the process. As I said, in this particular instance, we know we have a wooden stud which goes right the way from floor to ceiling, bang up against here. Now, if you don't know where your stud work is, you can try and identify by ear, just tapping along. You'll hear a looser sound, and then when you come over the wood, you'll hear a sort of harder sound if you like. But please always check for any cables that may be running. So you want to be looking for any plug sockets that may be at the bottom, any wiring that you have done, and just make sure you do not drill into any of that wiring at all. Again, if you're going into brickwork or into plasterboard itself, then just make sure you got the relevant wall plugs. First stage in the process then, we've got our curtain, which in this case is a special thermal door curtain, and we just want to make sure that we got the right height to set the curtain pole. So what we've done is I've put one of these underhooks under the curtain pole itself. We've made sure we've got enough height underneath the curtain to allow for doormats and any sort of clumps of dirt which might collect at the front door, and then I've marked just underneath here very faintly with a pencil, so I now know the height that I want to achieve when I'm fixing these in place. So having made that faint mark, I've then popped a long spirit level in place, got it leveled, and then I can pop another faint mark just in line with the stud on this side. So with my original line, I've now marked the center line of the stud, which runs from floor to ceiling. And I know from this point, a few mil above, specifically 4 mil above, is where this is going to sit, the underside of this. So now what I can do is mark this in place and mark with the pencil in the middle of those 3 holes. So now I've marked on here the underside of this particular piece, which is 4 mil up. I've then marked the center top hole because I want that in the middle of the stud, and then the 2 either side. And now I'm going to be using a hand drill just to do little pilot holes in here, and then I can put the wood screws fixing that piece into place. So I'm going to repeat the process on the other side now. Again, if you're using those wall plugs, put the plugs in first and obviously screw into those. You'll feel if you're not going into the stud, it can punch through the plasterboard. So you'll know if you've hit the stud because you'll feel that resistance as you pop the screw into the woodwork itself. So with both of those wall mounts in place, I can now put on these curtain support brackets, and literally just going to pop them on, make sure they're not cross-threaded, and then turn them clockwise to get them threaded onto the wall. So the next stage now is to decide how long you want the curtain pole itself. So we've popped the end cap on here, decided that's how far we want it. and so I can take the end cap off. And now what I'll do is I'll measure how far this overhangs from the wall bracket itself, and then I'll make sure I mark that on the other side to the same distance, and then I know where to cut. Having cut the curtain pole to length, I've then threaded the curtain onto the pole itself and overlapped one end. I've then put these end caps on. So the last thing for me to do now is those couple of little screws that came with the fixing kit. I just need now to push them up, grip into the curtain pole, and then that'll stop the curtain pole sliding left and right as you open and close the curtains. That's the job done then. If you're super keen, you could push little colour matching plugs or filler and sand down and paint to match in if you want to on this. But other than that, that's the job done. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to help other beaters out there too. Take care.